What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Movie Talk. My name is Zyler, and with me is my co-host, Shot.
Energized Mania.
Yep. This is my co-host, Energized Mania, and we're gonna be talking movies. Energized, bro. Do you know what the quote of the day is? Kind of happy about this one.
No, lay it on me, man.
Quote of the day: Go to sleep with an itchy ass, wake up with a stinky finger.
That's
Wait,
real.
that
Gotta
is real.
take showers out here, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's figured, we could all use a little bit more advice in our lives. So why not, have the quote of the day?
Stay clean, man. Keep them nuts, them balls, that ass, all
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
Keep that clean. You don't
Exactly.
want stinky fingers, man.
No, we don't need stinky fingers around here. With that being said, like with the quote of the day out of the way, gotta talk some movie news. I don't know if you know this or not. I know you're kind of like a stan for this series, but The Last of Us has a show, and it's
Sunday.
yeah, it
Very excited.
comes out this Sunday. Gonna have a review coming out. I'm gonna watch it as it comes out because it comes out episodically, doesn't it?
I'm not exactly sure, but that's pretty uncashed money if you ask me. But I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
I liked
maybe
Peacemaker.
the anticipation and like over Tom. I
Mm,
mean, I know the story of The Last of Us.
mm,
So it won't be super crazy, but it's still exciting to see live action. And even weekly, I think it still might be super exciting.
mm.
And it might make the series a little bit better.
Yeah, I think HBO is also better at making shows than like Disney.
I didn't watch Peacemaker,
Oh, okay,
but
that was
I don't
was gonna
I
say.
don't really feel like HBO Max has all that good originals outside of Peacemaker. I know that's
Mm,
pretty it stands out a lot for originals, but I'm not
that's fair.
I haven't really watched it,
That's
so I
fair.
can't really.
Well, I think in my personal opinion, I think Peacemaker is a better superhero show than like honestly, I think it's a stronger superhero show than like basically any of like the MCU shows that they've come out with. The only thing
So
that
is Daredevil and Punisher a part of that list? Because I might have to disagree with you.
ooh, okay, yeah, I guess if
They
you bring
are
in
MCU now.
yeah, I guess if you bring in the full catalog. All right. I feel like there's strong contenders there. I haven't seen Daredevil or Punisher, and I know they're both like really really
You're
good.
missing out.
I know. Did you know? Have you heard the movie Megan by chance? Like the
No,
with the doll? Oh, bro, you got to see this shit. It's gonna get
it's
a
a
sequel.
PG-13 horror movie.
Yeah,
Or
it was
PG.
okay. So it was originally rated R, but then they wanted to market it towards like a larger audience, and they got it. Like, it had a budget of a certain amount. I don't know it off the top of my head, and it made three times that. So we're gonna
What
get
is
it.
this like a Annabelle or like a Chucky kind of thing?
Kinda. So like the premise is that a doll is made as like a friend for a kid. The doll is supposed to protect this kid no matter what, and eventually the doll like overprotects the kid and starts murdering people. I haven't seen it, but it has decent reviews.
It's in theater.
Yeah, yeah. It released like last week. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah,
Didn't know about it until you just said that.
I know,
But
and it's crazy. It's crazy because like it's made a lot of money, and we're probably gonna get a sequel. So we might be living in like a new. This might be like the birth of like the new like Chucky for us. How do you feel about the title of Wolverine and Deadpool for the upcoming Wolverine and Deadpool movie? Supposedly there are rumors that like Hugh Jackman kind of like leaked the leaked the title of that movie. How do you feel about that? Would you prefer like a Deadpool 3 or does Wolverine and Deadpool
Deadpool,
some?
a Deadpool trilogy, man. I mean, he got to get his last one in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I was excited to see Mac Murdock in Spider-Man. So
Mm.
they also introduced Venom. I really wish they would have slid in a character that they got from Fox or like an X-Men character or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They have copyrights for them characters now, right? Disney does.
Yeah, the only thing with that is that if they were to use that for like they can't recast the people that were already part of the cast. So like you know how Cyclops they had his actor.
Well, okay. I digress because WandaVision. No, I kind of forgot about that.
Mm,
They did put Quicksilver in there.
kinda. They had Ralph Boner.
But yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I digress. Okay, that I take that point back.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay. Very excited.
fair enough.
Aside from the fact that people think that they should have let Logan be Hugh Jackman's last showing as Wolverine. I
What do
mean,
you?
that's really debatable. I don't think so. I think it was a great way to end his character,
Mm,
but Wolverine is like a very semi-important character, especially if you want to introduce the X-Men, and I don't think a lot of people will be okay with recasting him.
mm.
So I
Well,
think I'm fine with it.
speaking of like bringing Wolverine into like the MCU, there are rumors that in Captain America: New World Order,
Hmm.
it's gonna center around the discovery of adamantium, which is gonna be a metal that's stronger than vibranium in the MCU, leading to the Weapon X program, leading to conflict with Wakanda, and of course, uh, Telocan, um, the Atlantis of the MCU, and it's gonna be that's where we're gonna be introduced to Wolverine. Is like, or the setup for Wolverine is like the end of that movie, and it's also very likely that Hugh Jackman is not gonna come back for the role. So how do you feel
I
about
mean,
like a new Wolverine? Do you think you'd be able to accept that? Or
personally, I don't. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I would be okay with a new casting for Iron Man if they ever did it. I don't really care.
okay,
Um, because the agent is cool, but we all see Mandalorian. Let's be honest. If we go back and analyze that, uh, see Mr. Mark.
yeah,
It was okay, but
still kind of creepy. Still kind of creepy.
yeah.
Okay,
So
okay. Well,
I guess that's a way to immortalize those people, like as those characters. But
speaking,
I've had three different Spider-Mans,
yeah,
so I think I'm okay.
the last piece of movie news that I have right here is there's a new Avatar. So there's new Avatar sequel updates. James Cameron's on record talking about how the next Avatar it'll continue showing off the world of Pandora, and instead of, like, how we had like the Forest Tribe or like Earth Tribe, right? Earth Wind with like the banshees and shit and the flying monsters, and then we had like the Water people. But now we're gonna get the Ash people, the Ash Tribe. So the Ash people, they supposedly live like in the Ashlands and like around volcanoes, I guess. And I just think it's funny that like Avatar that has nothing to do with like Avatar is becoming more like Avatar. You know what I'm saying?
I seen a tweet saying that um it has nothing really to do with Avatar, but at the same time it does. But it
Mm-hmm.
says whenever you mention Avatar, you think the Last Airbender, and that's kind of true. When you just said Avatar, that was the first thing that popped up in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that we're talking about James Cameron's Avatar.
Yeah, for me, it's whenever I think of Avatar, I think of James Cameron's Avatar. But I also had like much less. I didn't watch the Avatar series growing up either, so maybe I'm just like a fucking heathen or like some kind of weirdo.
Common Flyer Zyler Ill.
With the Avatar news out of the way, though, now we can talk about the trailer trash talk. All right, segment of the show where we talk trailer trash or treasure. Right, we decide whether or not these trailers fuck or not. Okay. Okay. So new Ant Man trailers out. Did you watch it at all?
I didn't watch it by myself, but I watched a YouTube video.
Okay.
Um, you don't have to play it.
Okay.
I know enough. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
So in that, Modoc got confirmed. That was pretty cool. I made a basically like a trailer breakdown kind of.
I don't like his character build, but
Really?
we can.
Why?
Yeah,
I feel like in some stills he looks more comic accurate than in
I
others.
still, I still like the more art. Like I grew up watching like a cartoon
Uh huh.
version of him where he's more organic, and he looks super
Oh.
unorganic in that. So
Okay.
that's not my representation
Do you
of
think it's
what.
like
So
too metallic and like all that kind of
yeah,
stuff? Okay.
from what
Fair.
I've seen,
That's fair. I
it's
can see that.
probably different though. It probably can change.
I can see that. I can see that. I don't know, bro. I'm kind of hyped for the movie. It got me going. Got the juices flowing. Gave me a stiff ear or whatever. So I think Ant Man could be honestly like one of like the greats to come out ever like since
Honestly, his first two movies is not much to talk about. The thing that allowed them to go back in time, I think that's the only importance
I it
that his movies had.
it is,
Uh,
but it also introduced Ghost, who's gonna be in that new Thunderbolts movie that ends this next phase of the MCU. I think those are like the two things that happen in that movie that are gonna really matter, I suppose. I haven't even seen Ant Man and the Wasp. I'm not gonna lie, I skipped it.
Honestly, I don't think you're really missing out on much.
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
can't even really tell you what that Man on Walls is about.
I plan on watching it just for the sake of before I go see Ant Man. I plan on making like a series of like a week at a time. Like watch Ant Man, do a.
Very forgettable, kind of like the most recent Black Panther movie. But hey,
Really? See, I like Black Panther. It's sad, but I remember it. Next trailer that I want to talk about is Renfield. That's a Renfield. What are we thinking? Trash or treasure?
be honest, bro, not too into it.
Not too
But
into it.
everything is not for me. So
That's
I
fair.
can pick. I can rather choose if I want to watch it or not.
That's fair. I don't know. It's an interesting
I,
premise. Like working
I
with.
think I've had my fair share of Dracula movies. I think I like more serious vampire like Dracula movies, though. I'm gonna be honest.
Mm, you don't want to see like a comedy Dracula. I don't. I mean,
No, we got Hotel Transylvania. Come on, man.
oh damn, you got me there. I don't know. If you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows on Hulu, great vampire show. If you like comedy, that is. If you like comedy vampires, it's great. But
Hmm.
but yeah, I don't know. Those are my first impressions. I think it's an interesting premise, but I don't know. I'm not quite sold on it yet. I'm gonna be honest. Kind of skeptical.
You'd have to give me another trailer.
Fair enough. I don't think there is another trailer because this is still comes out a little ways away, a couple months away. Next one is Evil Dead Rise. Have you ever seen an Evil Dead movie?
No, bro.
Me either. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen one either.
Yo, is
So
this horror, bro? Yeah, I might
yeah,
have to not watch this. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta sleep tonight.
nah, bro. It shouldn't be that scary unless it is. But people are skeptical about the only thing that I know about this is that people are skeptical of it because it doesn't have returning actors, and I believe the director is different as well. So people are like, oh. By the way, the main actor is the guy from Multiverse of Madness. I like the end of that movie, who like yells at the camera. So another April movie. How are we feeling about that one? I know you're not big into horror, but still.
Well, not so much horror, but if anything has to do with possession or paranormal activity,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really fucking with it.
Not fucking with it.
You won't catch me watching one like anything that has to do with paranormal activity or possession. I find that shit to be slightly
Too much.
believable. Yeah,
Hmm. I like them.
more or less because it's like humans,
Yeah.
and I feel like it can be real. Never really seen it in person, but I feel like possession and paranormal activity is very real. So it's like, yes, I feel like it's more realistic. Wh- Whereas, like, where it might be a fictional character, or even just like slashers, or just like a bunch of murder, and I don't really, it's horror, but like, I could watch that over paranormal activity and possession. That's just me though, first.
Hmm. See, I don't know. I think that looks interesting. Honestly, that kind of works for me. Seems cool.
Well, it didn't look like there was much killing, so I'm not really getting like, I don't know,
Hmm.
as far as horror goes.
So,
It didn't really scare me, or like, I didn't get
so he
that
gave me
little
like
rise of heart rate.
the jitters. Like it had like creepy imagery. Like I enjoy like the practical effects and everything. Like the spine effect whenever she like her like spine bends. I think that stuff's kind of cool.
It's kind of hot, yeah.
Or that too. So how are we feeling? Trash or treasure? I'm gonna say treasure. I like that one.
Good cop, bad cop. I'm always say the opposite of you because we have two different opinions when it comes to movies. I'm
Hmm.
gonna give this one trash, my boy.
Trash. All right. Renfield.
Well,
Was that one trash
well,
for
it's
you?
not trash. It's Which one was that? That
The
was
vampire assistant
the
movie.
vampire
Yeah,
potential.
potential. All right, I'm gonna say
I feel like it
trash.
could be watchable.
I'm gonna say trash. Watchable, but I don't know. I'm not. It doesn't really sell me on the premise. I'm gonna have to see more. Like you said, I'm gonna have to see like another trailer or something. I need to,
Real.
but I'm probably gonna go see it because Nick Cage. I like Nick Cage, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pretty cool actor.
Yeah. And then what about Ant Man? How are we feeling? Trash or treasure with
I
that one?
mean, maybe in uh slightly comic book nerd. Um, I'm not really big on Ant-Man, but I'll give it Treasure
Treasure?
because what it's gonna do for the MCU.
Mm,
That's probably the only reason because we're getting our next big arc. So
that's fair.
that's probably the only reason why I will give it Treasure. And I'm only reason I'm gonna watch it really because I want to see King. So
That's
let's be
fair.
honest here. People might be there for Mr. Scott, but I know why I'm there. Let's just be honest, man.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm tired of like the Thanos hype of everybody thinking Thanos is like the end all be all, like the greatest villain of Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
just because what the MCU did. There's more. It's a comic book universe, multiverse, bro. There's a hell of a lot more to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you don't
I'm
think
excited for that.
you think they can make Kang scarier than Thanos, or even like the same, or do you think it's gonna be like a different type of intimidation? Like,
Well,
what are you wanting from
my
Kang?
my personal opinion on MCU is they move too fast, but at the same time they really work with what they have. So yeah, I applaud them for that.
Mm-hmm.
Reason like it's a reasonable like um display of movies and display of comic book characters. But just me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's its own universe, so I can't really compare it to anything that's happened in the past. But like I've given my opinions on Civil War. Like Civil War could have been so much better, but they didn't have copyrights to some characters, so it kind of was lackluster. But still, top three. I think top three MCU movies. So I still, that's just my opinion. I feel like there could be a lot more going on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's, but solo movies are still cool. I guess the Avengers is okay.
Mm. So now it's time to get into the actual meat potatoes here, the movie talk. Of course, this week's movie, if you couldn't tell by the trailer that's been on loop for the past like what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes now. Um, Avatar 2: Way of Water. We both saw it. I've seen it twice. I saw it in regular 2D as well as in 4D, where like the seats move and shit, and you have like wind blowing in your face. Um, and then also, Energized over here got a chance to see it. I believe you saw it in 2D, right?
3D.
3D. Oh,
Sadly,
so you got
slander in my eyes
really?
for the sake of other people. Yeah.
You didn't like the 3D?
Every time I watch 3D movies, they
Give you a
my eyes
headache?
get very irritated. No, I just get irritated eyes.
Okay, okay.
But it was still a cool experience, I guess. I think I could have enjoyed it just as much as 2D. So
Hmm. I saw it in 2D. I thought it looked amazing. Like, right? Like, this is obviously like a 10 out of 10 cinematic
I
scoring
mean,
movie. Like,
yeah,
this
it
shit.
pops a little bit more in 3D,
Yeah.
but I think as far as that goes. I think that's about it. It's almost nearly the same.
Yeah.
I don't think I get the same excitement as I did when I was a little bit younger because you're like, oh shit, flying across the screen like
Mm.
that. That would be like flying across the screen. It's nothing too crazy. It's cool, but like 3D, I think they need to did it personally. But
Mm. Still, beautiful movie. I think it's really crazy to consider that, like, nothing on the screen, like, everything here, like, in the trailer and in the movie, like, that shit's not real. Like, that's not really there. That,
CGI, man,
yeah,
crazy.
that's incredible. Like, in all honesty, like, the meme is that James Cameron spent 13 years on this technology, and like I think it paid off. In all honesty, I think it's amazing what he's been able to do. But I also think that it's
CGI will remain the coolest thing of all time to me,
really
especially when involved in movies, bro. Yes, you know what imagery can do, bro.
true.
That's fucking crazy.
Okay, so speaking of imagery, so like one of my biggest critiques about this movie is like obviously it's a 3 hour and 12 minute movie, so like that's a long fucking movie. Um, there's bloat, right? Some scenes last take longer than they need to, but it's mostly like show that show like nature scenes, like fake nature scenes. So you say like you enjoy the imagery. Do you think those nature scenes did they take away from it, or did they? What about those?
I think it made the movie more enjoyable. I think it's a part of Avatar,
Mm.
personally.
So you think like
I don't
those?
think it would be the same if it was anything differently. So
Interesting.
I enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it makes the movie for like what it is.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
Because it's not Earth, so it's not something you get to see
Uh,
every day. So by all means, I mean, yeah, give me a couple 2 more minutes on the on those scenes and show me what you can do with CGI and show me something I've never seen before.
all right.
World building, I think personally. So I
All
think there's
right.
nothing wrong with that.
I can respect that. I really do. Hey, I agree with that. It just didn't. I don't think it really worked for me because I'm like, okay, I get it like a few shots here and there, but like whenever you were adding like I think they could have taken out 20 minutes and they could have all been like these nature scenes, and I think that's like a lot of bloat in my opinion. Like eventually I'm like, okay, we can.
But then again, I have a higher appreciation for nature probably than you do. I still turn on Blue Planet every now and then, just for imagery or something in the background. So that's just me personally. I enjoy it.
True. Not, maybe I just need to accept the fact it's not made for me. So like it's made for people who really enjoy that, especially like seeing something that's not real, or like that's not real, or that's not there, and like just the creativity and imagination that has to be used and brought into it to like enjoy. I think that's something incredible, honestly. So obviously, like the Colonel from the first movie, like the evil Colonel dude, gets reincarnated, I guess, as an alien. What are did you like that? Because me, I thought it at first I was like, oh, this is really corny. Like, oh, they just gonna bring back the same villain. I was like, this kind of feels like some Palpatine shit from episode what was that? Episode 7, episode 8 of or episode 9. My bad of Rise of
I mean,
Skywalker.
I don't know. I mean, it's something that was already touched on. I mean, our main character is
Mm,
also in that same boat, so
true.
I don't really see anything wrong with it. And I don't know who you. I mean, obviously, you could probably introduce somebody else, but I feel like it would have something to do that has a connection with the last movie or some type of connection with the last movie. So my question, like, who would be the antagonist? Obviously, it can be anybody. You can create
Mm,
anybody, but I feel like the connection from like the last movie, and there's also still like some more stuff and some more story that need to be talked on. Maybe they could have did a little bit more with this child, but outside of that, I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's fun.
okay. So how do you feel about like the? So we already talked about like the cinematics here. Cinematics obviously 10 out of 10. Characters here, you felt like the characters are pretty strong too. You said something about what did you not like about the like his kids?
I mean, one of them got killed, so I mean, oh, spoiler. Sorry,
No,
sorry.
hey, this is all spoilers. All spoilers. No worries. The movie's been out for over a month now, so it'll be okay.
Um, I feel like I feel like they did like the minimum. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the story should have been surrounded around them a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
personally.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see stuff shit like that in the trailer, what you just seen, and
Mm-hmm.
it was this it was more or less driven around like the importance of family and protecting your family.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they would have. I mean, we got that point across, but I feel like more family time or I mean, yeah, probably more family time instead of like more independent character building between those people. But I guess it was a time skip, so I guess it's okay.
Okay.
But I would have liked more emphasis on like why like my family is so important to me, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's family, but I would have enjoyed a little bit more of that quality family time and doing more things together. It felt like it was like more separate because I feel like you rarely seen the mom until like the last couple scenes.
Mm-hmm. So where do
There
you
was
think
no
like
real.
where do you so to get more scenes with the family, do you add more to the runtime, or where would you take away to give that time for more family? Like, what would you take away from this?
So I won't say that the two sons are like the part where he was having fun time with the well because I think that's a slightly semi-important part
Mm-hmm.
of what was going on with the story, and it played a big role towards the end.
Mm.
But I feel like a little bit of like that. But then again, it also builds character. But I also I can't remember which one of them died. Was it the one that made the connection with the?
It was the older son. I don't remember their names. Their names are so alien to me. I don't know. I don't think it was a Loak. Um, I don't remember the names of the kids.
Well, okay, so the next movie it might be like a huge emphasis on him and his character. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe maybe I'm a little too pushy. But then again, like I don't know. I don't feel like I had enough time to like even like feel sad about um the child's death. Obviously, it's like oh well, yeah, but like I don't. They put more emphasis on like the younger brother and the older brother, so I didn't really feel so much connection to the character in that movie. Like I got their relationship together through like small shit.
Mm.
But outside of that, I wish it was more brotherly
Mm.
aspects. Like we seen it slightly, but I wish it was more apparent. Whereas like where I was saying like you have like scenes where like it's just the dad, or you have scenes where it's just like the characters are by themselves,
Mm.
independently in a lot of scenes. Like the girl where she was, you know, really into like the sea and you see her appreciating the sea, yada yada yada. You know, I would have enjoyed it if it was a little bit more joint, maybe. So
Okay. Okay. So like less of like those. So more of like
independent scenes, yeah,
yeah, more character interaction rather than solo work.
for sure.
I could see that. Okay.
But at the end of the day, the movie still worked.
Mm.
Personally, I don't think they did anything wrong. This is just me giving a slight critique of like what I might have wanted to see a little bit differently.
Yeah. Conflict. Do you think that the conflict of like running away from his past tribe, and then you said that you thought that the main bad guy here, the colonel, it worked for you? Do you think that?
Well, it all came full circle, so
Mm. So you think it was a good conflict? Anything? Do you think there were like any weak links here, or anything that didn't really like add up? You're like,
I think it was okay. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, that was fun.
okay, all
I
right,
like it.
fair enough, fair enough. I thought that the conflict was pretty strong, actually. Let me see if I can find the scoring because I remember scoring this whenever I first saw it. It's been a while, so I don't really remember what I gave it. Conflict, I gave it a 10, so I really enjoyed the conflict here as well. It seems I gave characters an 8 though, because I felt like not all of them were totally distinguishable as either. Again, I have a problem with names, but I felt like there were a shit ton of characters, and I felt that the seeing them by themselves didn't really work as well, and I
Filled up.
and I kind of
Yeah,
felt
like
like
even like you said, even with him having his independent time away, like I still couldn't tell the difference between the
yeah,
two brothers.
yeah. And I saw it twice, and I know Loak. That's the one that bonds with the whale. The other ones I had to look it up as Netayem.
But then again, I'm not like a super passionate person about Avatar, and like I wasn't one of those people who was like, you know, like a meat rider for Avatar,
Mm-hmm.
like saying it was the best film of all time, like box office wise.
True.
I only watched it probably twice.
Mm.
So like as far like obviously like I had to watch the second movie. Um, but not gonna say it's forgettable, but it's not one of those movies that like sticked with me. So,
Mm.
but then it's still like a good franchise
That's fair.
nonetheless.
That's
Don't
fair.
want to take away from it.
The next point is I usually talk about like dialogue. Do you think that from what you remember from like the lines that were spoken? Again, this has been a while since we've seen this. Do you think that there were like any lulls do you think like the conversation seemed real, or did were the like the deliveries of lines? For me personally, I felt like some like the delivery of lines still kind of feels stunted. Like the technology is very impressive, but I think that the facial expressions don't always match what's being said, or that the delivery of the lines don't always match the facial expressions, and it doesn't happen very often. But I remember thinking like, oh, that kind of felt unnatural, or oh, that kind of felt weird. So I gave,
Oh, I can be completely honest here. I think throughout like some parts,
mm,
I don't think I really paid attention to much of like the CGI on the face and like the movements.
mm,
Mainly because it was 3D for me. I didn't really care too much. I think there was other things that I was focusing on.
Mm,
But I will say that I did have some slight problem with some people's acting. I
okay.
think the little boy, what the yeah, I had a problem with his acting. Like his reactions. I'm like, oh, it could be better. I mean,
Wait,
he's young.
which one? Which little boy? Like Spider,
With the
the human?
yeah, with the dreads,
Yeah,
yeah. I feel like he could have
yeah.
he could have done a little
So
bit better.
that's what I'm saying. Like I felt like he would like whenever he'd be angry, like it was like it felt like not real anger. It felt like acting.
Yeah, if you were there watching with me, I said I was acting like a good couple times throughout
Yeah,
the film. And
yeah.
so
So I think I think maybe we have the same opinion. I think I gave what did I give? I gave dialogue a 7. So not
yeah.
like not the most amazing thing in the world, but also
Still
not
want
the
to
worst.
give Zoe her props for being a great actor. I think she always characters her character. And
Who's Zoe? Which one did she play?
the the Natri I don't know how to say
Oh,
it.
Natiri.
Yeah, the
Oh, the
mom.
mom. Okay.
I think she always does a really good job. If you ever seen like the BTS of like her and like her acting
Mm,
in those particular scenes, yeah,
mm.
they're pretty goddamn good
Nice.
in my opinion. So I always want to give her props for being, a great actor.
That's fair. That's fair. I felt like I feel like most scenes were strong, but then there were those fuck ups where I'm just like, ah.
I think she does very well, especially when it involves like emotional scenes.
Mm,
Because those facial expressions are built off her. So like everything that she's doing, and obviously she's a more experienced actor than like probably some people in these movies because she's in a lot of AAA films
mm,
and she plays like a lot of big characters in like a lot of different franchises. But yeah, I think she did a goddamn good job with her acting for her character.
mm.
So
Okay. I can
because
see
like
that.
I said, those facial expressions are coming from her.
Mm.
So and those emotions and the delivery and line. So. I'll applaud her on that.
Yeah. Hey, I think she deserves props. Honestly, I think it's hard to like act with anything that's not really there.
You can really like that's her really being in character, and I think
Yeah.
that's it. I don't know if it's passion or
Mm.
whatever it is. I mean, she is an actor, but you can show that she takes her role very seriously. You are quite literally just sitting in a room with a bunch of screens, and you have like some gear on.
Mm.
I think I think that's very impressive, especially with none of it actually being there. I could never do it personally.
I really don't think I could either. Like, I know I talk animate. Like, I can be really animated whenever I talk with friends and whatnot. But I don't think if I were to like if they were to be like, hey Zyler, we need you to act angry and hiss like a cat at these guys, I'd be like, is all these cameras? You guys gonna be watching me? You know, I'd definitely like I'd freeze up and be like, I'm good. Usually after dialogue, I talk about plot, and I think we talked a little bit about the plot. It did like so plot is like moving from like A to B and then from like B to C. Like, do you feel like anything like there were any like terrible decisions or like anything like that?
As far as writing goes.
Yeah.
I'll be honest,
Mm.
I'm not really like a big person that critiques writing. It would
Yeah.
have to be like a very terrible story for me to even like notice like stuff like that.
Mm.
And I feel like this was, like I said, it's done very well.
Okay.
So I don't have any, you know,
Mm.
bad words to say about storyline or writing.
That's fair. I was gonna say I think most of this is pretty tight. I think most of the stories done really well. I think the plot here is a step above what was delivered in the first one because I feel like the plot of the first movie is really simple, just Pocahontas and or Dancing with Wolves in space. But I think this James Cameron wrote the first movie, but then he brought on a team of writers for this movie. So I think they did a much better job. The only thing that like made me feel like I don't know about that is like whenever they move from like the forest village to the water village. Hear me out, right? I could be wrong,
Hmm.
but couldn't they if like they know where the forest village is, right? Couldn't they just like because they know where the helicopter took off from? That would lead them to the humans, interrogate all those dudes, right? One of them's bound to crack, and tell them exactly where the Navi village is, and then they could just
Okay, yeah, okay, I get that.
yeah, then they could just be like,
That's a decent point.
yeah, that's the only thing that I have. But obviously, uh, that I think that's like the biggest plot hole. But I don't think
Because
it's
realistically, I don't care what the top chief says. If it got as bad as it did there, they over there destroying villages and killing shit. I mean, I would have.
yeah,
Bros over there,
yeah,
you ain't doing all that. That ain't real realistic.
yeah.
But
Hey,
I mean, they are a different species, so maybe they are super loyal.
maybe be like you destroyed my house. Fuck that guy. He's not even he's not
Like I
even real
have zero
Navi.
connection to this. I don't even have any connection to this dude. I
Yeah,
don't even know who he
this
is.
guy's fucking a demon blood. Get him out of here. The final point that I wanna touch on here is like the suspense. Like, were you ever taken out of the movie, or were you pretty invested in it the whole time? Like, did you ever feel like there were moments like if you saw this at home, right? Would you ever like look down at your phone, or were you pretty
Yes.
like really, like a lot of moments?
No.
No.
I was invested 9 times out of 10, but yeah, I check my phone every once in a while.
Okay.
It was more or less because it was a 3 hour movie, and I'm kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
like what time is it, bro?
How far?
That would be like the only reason,
That's
or
fair.
that was the only reason.
How much we got left? Yeah. For me, I wrote down. So for plot, for me, I wrote down a 9, and for suspense, I wrote down a 7. Um, so I mean, overall, like afterwards, after I did all like my scoring and everything, I'm pretty sure it brought it out to like a either like I think it was a 9 out of 10 or like a 10 out of 10. Like it would have been like a really really high 9. Um, I think this movie was honestly great. I think this could have been had the Batman not come out last year. This would have been the probably like the second strongest movie to come out. My favorite movie of 2022 was Nope. I've said that like a million times, but that was my favorite movie of 2022. Followed by The Batman, and then followed by Way of Water. That's my top three of 2022.
And I wasn't really big on movies this year, I don't think, but the movies that I did see, I went to see The Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely in my top three, so that's really valid. And you I also see Way to Water, and it's probably my top three. But like I only seen movies that came out in theaters. I didn't see like any originals, like from prom, like what we were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and those movies that I wanted to watch. So obviously, like after I watched those movies that are critically acclaimed to be
Mm-hmm.
like some of the best movies that came out last year,
You could
um,
adjust.
I could adjust and give you a better answer of if your list is valid or not.
Fair enough.
But then again, movies are subjective, so you like what you like, buddy.
Yeah. So how are we feeling about Avatar: Way of Water? Best movie ever? Worst movie ever? I think we're both.
Oh, my mouse died. No.
How does your mouse die? My mouse hasn't died yet. I've only ever put one battery in it.
Yeah, bro, I actually use my mouse.
Maybe. Okay, so Avatar 2: Way of Water, great movie. How much has it made actually? Because I know
It's
it's
over 1 billion, so
hasn't made over 1 billion yet.
yeah.
Let me see.
I think it did that over like a couple weeks ago. I like probably around the time I went to go watch it, so that's
So it's
pretty
here.
early. It wasn't as fast as people had thought, but yeah, it got there.
So Avatar 2: Way of Water right now is 1.7 billion. That is
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
fucking crazy. It's currently ranks the seventh highest grossing film of all time. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, definitely earned its sequel spot. That's
Not a
crazy.
lot of sequels do that, man. So
Yeah, and it's also very rare that people say that the sequel is better than the original. But I think that's true for this one. I think this is better than the first one,
hmm,
even with like the longer runtime and stuff. I think that's impressive. That's amazing.
yeah,
All right.
Marvel is still crushing that. The Force Awakens is top five. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess that was like reintroducing like bringing back Star Wars for the first time in like a decade. So I suppose
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy to me though. Oh my God, Disney, what did you do with Star Wars, bro?
They
Jesus.
tried to treat Star Wars like it was some MCU shit, man. Ruined it.
I just want fucking money. I hate it.
Yeah. Now what? So so obviously, we're both probably gonna be watching the new. We're both probably gonna be watching the Last of Us show. And then Wednesday, you said you wanted to talk about Wednesday. Have you been watching Wednesday?
Yeah, bro. I think that was like the biggest like scam I've ever like got away with you. No, I'm not watching it either, I don't think.
Oh, you were lying whenever you said that?
Yeah.
I thought you fell into the Jenna Ortega trap, bro. I'm sorry.
Nah, bro. I don't never get excited off mid.
Mid.
I'm also not attached to that franchise series.
I really didn't think a lot of people were attached to the Adams family. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like,
You'd be surprised, bro.
yeah, I guess so. Like, I thought the movies were okay, but I've never once in my life been like, you know what I'm missing? A Wednesday show. That's what I'm missing. I just want a whole show filled with this girl. That's what I need. I don't think I've ever said
Yeah,
that.
and it's been rebooted so many different times. So
Yeah, yeah. There was an animated movie that came out just like a couple years ago, right? That's crazy.
well, I don't know. You keep up with movies more than I do, boss.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there was an animated movie that came out a couple years ago. It's like that. I think it was just called The Addams Family. Um, so you reading anything? Anything you got reading? Any cool comics or anything like that?
No, I had I was reading The Walking Dead,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not saying it got bad, but maybe it's just because I'm too familiar with the series. Although, like the series, like the TV show, is totally different than the comics. But that was the last thing that I read that was serious.
Hmm. Reading. What have I been reading? I've been reading the Predator comics that have been coming out and like the Alien series as well. The Predator's kind of interesting. And then the last comic that I bought was Timeless because I had Kang the Conqueror on the cover. I haven't read it yet, but I got it because I was like, oh, there's Kang. Maybe that'll do something
Need
later.
that.
Yeah. That's it. That's the whole movie talk, bro. We did it. So now it's time, of course, to do the outro. That's gonna be the movie talk, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you have any thoughts, if you agree or disagree with any of our opinions that we shared. If there's anything that you want us to start talking about more during movie news, or if there's any trailers that you want us to react to and watch, let us know down in the comments below. And I will see you in the next one. Your turn, buddy.
Goodbye.
Peace.